Welcome to Teachings from the Masters with Daryl Shaun Price.
Hi, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. So I want to talk to you today about manifesting, creating your perfect life. And it really hinges on one thing. How familiar are you with that new you, with the experience you want to have, with having the things you want and desire? Is it foreign and odd and not comfortable, or is it something you're now familiar with? And the easiest way to know that is, are you experiencing that now? If not, then it's not your familiar normal yet. So Neville Goddard, and many, many others even before and after him, but he's the one that really solidified this concept, teaches live in the wish fulfilled. And part of that is you are so energetically in communion, in alignment with that wish fulfilled and who you are living in that wish fulfilled, that it becomes your normal. That your mind says, yeah, that's who we are. Which part of that is ignoring the current reality that doesn't match. And this is where a lot of people that I work with get tripped up. Over and over again, they are kind of in this conflict of, well, I can imagine, for example, having the financial freedom and everything I want and having things come to me easily and not having to worry about money. But then a bill comes up and then I have an unexpected expense and then this happens. How can I ignore that? And yes, you are aware of what's happening. You accept what is happening. You even appreciate that it is happening, but you don't attach your identity to it. So let me use your name as an example. And this is really where I think this will click for a lot of you. So right now, I want you to say your name out loud. Daryl. Oh, that probably felt familiar. That probably felt good. That probably felt nice to hear your own name. Because it's part of your identity that you've accepted, so much so that if you were out in a crowd and somebody came up to you and called you Bob and your name's not Bob, there's no doubt in your mind, oh, that's not me. You had the experience of someone calling you Bob, but that's not your name. That's not your identity. That's not who you are. And we do this. We do this, of course, with our name and nicknames we add on and roles and other things. We start to add pieces to that identity that we are familiar with, that we have no doubt that's who we are. And that's how people refer to us. So for me, I get called Druid a lot because of the spiritual practices I have, because of the ways I like to be in nature, support nature and animal rescue and the plants that I have around me. So if somebody calls me Druid, I have no question in my mind, yeah, that's part of my identity. That's who I am. Sure, my mind can go off and say, well, do they mean it the way I feel? Who cares? No. Boom, I know they're referring to me. And it makes sense. That's what you need to do with your new identity. So let's take, and I'm going to use financial freedom again because it seems to be the big one right now, especially with everything that's happening in the world, and I get it. So financial freedom. If you can visualize what it's like to be financially free, if you can visualize having the money in your bank account, if you can actually play out a scene of what that would be like when you have that, great. That's what you start to add to your identity. Something happens that doesn't match that. Oh, that's not me. Oh, sure, that's happening, but that's not who I am. That's not part of my identity. Just like somebody calling you Bob. Not part of your identity. So I'm going to give you an example that happened to me recently. So I went to an optometrist. Oh man, it was a little over a year ago now. And I went with my little tribe. We all went together because everybody has their own needs and needed to get glasses updated. So we just made a day of it. So we all go to this optometrist, and this optometrist let us know she was new. This is her first job, and she's really excited to get started. And we were some of her first patients ever, etc. Did the whole eye exam thing. Now, my eyes have never been bad. They're not 20/20 exactly, but they're so close. I can drive without glasses. I don't need corrective lenses for most things. I like to have either contacts or glasses so I can see super far away clear. In fact, with them, I'm corrected to better than 20/20 because of how unbad my eyes are. Because of how good they are. There we go. That's better than unbad. Anyway, so we had this experience. We all went there, and When they did the prescription, she mentioned, oh, I have some astigmatism, and started to put some things down that did not make sense to me. It didn't feel right. That's not who I am. I've never had astigmatism. I've never had these issues. Oh, you need readers now? I've never needed readers. It didn't feel right. It didn't feel like who I am. Now, here's what we do. Here's how we pollute our own identities. So, of course, she's the doctor. So, of course, she's the doctor. I have my tribe of people around me who are like, well, maybe it's this and maybe it's this. And they did extra research to try to support what the doctor said and encourage me to go along with it. It still didn't feel right. But I went along with it. I went along with it because, oh, well, logically, it makes sense. I should just go with it. Over the next year, anytime I put the glasses on she prescribed for me, I would get dizzy and have a headache, and it didn't work for me. There was something off. And everyone wanted to just use the logical, well, you just need to adjust, you need to wear them more often, etc. And I tried wearing them for a whole day and got so dizzy I had to go to sleep. I'm like, this does not feel like me. And a lot of times we do this. We hear something that doesn't feel like us, but we let the outside world convince us that that is you. That's who you are. That's what you're experiencing now, even if it doesn't feel like you. And honestly, I've been kind of battling this until a few days ago, when I was laying in bed with contacts on and realized I can't see my phone with the contacts she prescribed for me. But if I take them out, I see it clearly. Everything crystal clear. That's not somebody who needs readers. That's someone who needs readers if they're wearing the prescription that she prescribed for me that doesn't work for me. And that's when it clicked. Oh, I knew this. The moment she said it, I knew. If I trusted myself, if I trusted my inner alignment more than external evidence, I knew that wasn't me. And for an entire year, I struggled with it to remind myself I already knew that wasn't me. And that doesn't fit my identity. The old glasses I had were just fine. I can see far away with them on. It doesn't affect my seeing close up. I don't need to wear them all the time. I wear them when I'm driving, so I'm super safe and make sure I can see everything. And that's about it. That's who I am. That was me. Now, we do this in our life over and over again. I'm going to be a millionaire. I'm going to have $192 million in my bank account, and I'm going to have complete financial freedom and do everything I want. And then the real world says, yeah, but you only have $17 in your bank account right now. Oh, that's not me. Just an experience. That's fine. I can observe that. Oh, this lady didn't diagnose my eyes correctly. That's fine. I can observe that experience. It's not a big deal. It's not who I am, though. What she told me I am is not who I am. What the experiences I'm having right now tell me I am is not who I am. I choose my identity. Just like I would never be convinced by somebody telling me my name is Bob instead of Daryl Shaun Price. Now think about this for your life. How often do you let others or circumstances convince you to pollute the identity you want most? This is why it's so important for you to live in alignment, no matter what. Because when you're in alignment, your attention is focused on your inner being and following the peace, not on external influence. The external is just a reflection. And what a beautiful reflection that experience with the glasses was for me. I knew the moment she said it, it wasn't me. I allowed my mind to struggle for a year with outside circumstances, with all these reminders, that's not you, that doesn't match you, that doesn't feel right. Till I finally accept that, and now I'm good. So look at you. I'm going to walk you through a basic daily, what I do every day, just the principles, so that I'm in alignment. And you know from the glasses story, it's not 100%. There's times I can get influenced by what's outside of me and say, oh, well, maybe they're right, and my intuition of who I am isn't. But that's actually never the case for anybody. If it doesn't feel like you, it's not you. You don't have to accept it. So, number one, every morning, start with the body. Deep breaths, calm your nervous system. For me, I do lymphatic stretching. I sometimes do Tai Chi and Qigong because that's what works for me. Get your body into a place where it feels good no matter what, and it is ready to receive. Because your body is the initial reaction to, whoa, that's not us. And you can change what is you, but you got to have your body be calm first. And sometimes I'll do the breathing, calm my body, and I'll do the exercise later. But these are all pieces of what I do. Then it's meditation. It's time to focus my attention on alignment completely. Do I feel like all my energy centers are free and open and flowing? Then I will channel the elements around me in through each of my energy centers and really get into alignment with me and the energy of creation that exists in all things, not as a separate, but as one. And only then do I visualize. And I decide, okay, who am I? Boom. And there are times I will do this in one of two ways. I will either just be open and flowing and say, hey, let's see who I am and what comes up, and say yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, and kind of filter that out. Then there are times I have a very specific, I want this experience. Let me channel and flow. Let me get into that experience and what that feels like. Either way, I am creating. So I visualize. I get into it. I know how it feels. Then the rest of my day, if it doesn't feel like what I visualized, that's not me. But you have to deal with the stuff that comes up. Sure, I will respond to it. I'll pay a bill. I'll pay off a debt. I'll pay an unexpected expense. But me stressing out about those is not me because I'm financially free. It's the identity you're most familiar with that automatically creates the experiences. And I'll tell you, once I realized and understanding that it's as familiar as your name, and once I realized that is when things really started to click for me. Because it isn't about, I'm trying to add this into all the other stuff. It's no, I'm getting rid of the noise that doesn't feel like that completely. I'm not going to respond to the people that call me Bob or Francis or Nancy. Because it's not me. I'm not going to respond and give energy to the experiences that don't feel like what I just imagined. Because it's not me. And yeah, it may take some time for those experiences to work out and match the new you that you now feel. Because everything you're experiencing is a reflection of you and your level of alignment. And if you have been that, those reflections are still going to come out. But if you stop identifying with them, you've now made space for the new. And at any moment in your life, you get to decide who you are. You are under no obligation to be the same person 10 seconds from now that you are now. You choose who you are. And that's on every level. So there's six points of a balanced life that I talk to my students about and my clients about and my friends about frequently. And in fact, our little tribe that lives together, we will get together and have weekly meetings, and we will go through all 6 of these points and just check in how everyone's doing. And it is this: spiritual, intellectual, and emotional. Those are your 3 internals. Then it is physical, financial, and social, your 3 externals. And they all connect. So you can decide at any moment, who am I spiritually? Oh, I'm the person that does what Daryl does and channels energy and is in love with nature and does what he does. And that's fine, you can. Oh, I don't do that at all. I'm the person who gets into crystals. Oh, I'm the person that's super religious and really wants to follow this tradition. That's fine. You decide who you are. But you decide who you are. Stop letting outside circumstances decide who you are. So who are you spiritually? Who are you intellectually? Who are you emotionally? Who are you physically? Who are you socially? Who are you financially? Once you can really create the image of this is who I am in each of those 6 areas, things will start to happen much quicker. Because There's a big difference between changing your identity, which will involve all 6 of those, and, oh, I want to get this thing, I want to get this thing, I want to get this thing, and I'm super focused only on that thing. And I don't care about physical well-being or anything else, I just want that thing. And that's what I think a lot of people do when they try to manifest. They'll get this one idea in mind. I want money. So I'm going to make money, 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 money. And they let some of the other stuff fall by the wayside. If they're spiritual, it's only spiritual for the sake of getting money. If they're intellectual, it's only learning for the sake of getting money. If they're happy, it's only because they're trying to force themselves to be happy with getting money. You need to decide who you are at your core, no matter what happens. Then you're in the alignment to shift any piece of that identity in any way you want. And you'll notice you make one tweak, let's say it's in financial, all the others will shift and adjust because that is you as a whole. You are the energy of creation that exists in all things. And you are creating experiences that have these aspects of spiritual, emotional, intellectual, physical, financial, and social. And you're creating those aspects to create complete experiences for you to see who you are. So this big circle of creation, it's always about your identity. And I've said it before, and I'm going to say it probably 100 times in this podcast. You do not attract what you want. I'm going to actually correct that. You do not create what you want. You create what you are. So if you want money, but you are identified with always struggling and scared of it, and you don't know where it's going to come from, and you have to know where it's going to come from, and it has to make sense, and I got to be careful, and I got to protect it, you're probably not going to get money. You're going to get more experiences of struggling with money. If you want to be healthy and strong and have the energy to do whatever you want, but you're always struggling with, oh no, if I eat the wrong food, then this happens, and when I'm not doing exactly what I need to, and I don't exercise, and I diet, and my body falls apart, then you're probably not going to be healthy and strong and have the energy to do what you want. You're going to be in a state of, I always have to take care of my body just to make sure I have enough energy to do what I want. Different identities. If you decide you're somebody who wants to have these beautiful, amazing, meaningful relationships, and you just connect with people freely and easily, but you're always in some dramatic situation where people are doing you wrong and they're out to get you, and they aren't treating you right, and it's not fair, and nobody understands you and nobody loves you, then yeah, you're going to get more of that. It is your identity that creates your reality. It is your identity that reflects. It is your reality that reflects who you are, and you choose that identity. So, I want you to remember this one phrase, and I'm going to repeat it probably every episode, if not most. There is nothing greater than the power of you. When you live in alignment, you will always create your happiest life in the easiest way possible by manifesting miracles. Because that's who you are. You shift your identity and live in alignment with whatever identity you choose, the world will match. If you allow outside circumstances to pollute and choose your identity for you, the world will match. You can create anything you want. So look at those 6 points in your life and decide who you are. Spiritually, intellectually, emotionally, physically, financially, and socially. Choose your identity today and choose your reality. And remember, make that identity so familiar that it is like your name. So that if something happens that doesn't match that identity, it feels the same as somebody calling you Bob if your name's not Bob. Oh, that's not me. Oh, that's an interesting thing that happened, but no, that's not me. This is who I am. This is what I'm familiar with. And the moment that becomes your normal is the moment that everything shifts so miraculously, so magically, and so fast that it will not make sense, and it's not meant to. Thank you, guys. See you next time.